Uh-oh.
Yes, boy!
French toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
Hey, we can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Mark It Down podcast. My name is Nick Cummings, flying solo here tonight, back again to review WWE Summer Slam Night 2. Bet you were expecting me to be in a Jets jersey, but no, rocking the old New Jersey Nets because the Continental Airlines Arena, a.k.a. the Izod Center, a.k.a. whatever the hell they call it now, is still there and still kicking. Good show tonight. I was very sports entertained, I have to admit that. We will kick things right off by going into the main event where we saw John Cena face off against Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship in a street fight. Now, obviously, this was a little bit different than I think we all expected going into it on Friday, when John Cena turned face, basically because Cody just called him out. And I watched that. I thought it was a little lame, but which we're going to hear that word a lot tonight, I'm going to admit. But I was okay with it just because, everything leading up to John Cena turning heel, or I don't want to say everything leading up to, but everything after John Cena turning heel kind of didn't play out great. So him getting out of it was fair, and allowing Cody to face off against the true John Cena was a real passing of the torch moment type of thing. And because of that, I think we got the best John Cena we've gotten in a very long time. Cody and him came out swinging tonight. I really think they kind of took the WrestleMania criticisms to heart, and they went all out. Some notes on the match. We had the Cody Vader. That came back, which was a lot of fun, which played into the match later, which we'll get to. Cody also came out with the big flip-up skull, which was nice. The only thing I thought John Cena was turning still heel for was because he used a crutch from one Tyrese Halliburton. And as a Knicks fan, I know I'm wearing a Nets jersey, but fuck Tyrese Halliburton. On the court, obviously. I hope he gets well from his Achilles injury. I really do. He's a great player. So that was cool. We also had Cody hit a pile driver in this match, which was awesome. Always great to see pile drivers in WWE. Just generally nice. I feel like a bit of a throwback to Cody's AEW days and New Japan days. But I did kind of like Michael Cole selling the fact that Cena kicked out of it when Cena is the only guy who's kicked out of a non-Undertaker / Kane pile driver in WWE in the last probably 30 years because Punk hit him with one on that Raw match. And I wish Cole had brought that up. Come on, Maggle. I really wish he did bring that up. I thought that would have been a cool reference, but technically Punk wasn't allowed to hit it back then. But either way, I thought it was a really cool spot. I very much enjoyed that. We also had Cena hit the Code Red on the floor after hitting Cody in the head with a mic. That led to Cena hitting an AA through the Spanish announce table, which was a very great spot. Maggle was very excited about it. And, he was Big Max John, shout out JBL, hit that. We had Cena bringing back the top rope leg drop and then going into an AA that Cody was able to kick out of. A bit later in the match, we had Cena coming out of the Cody Vader. They fought underneath the stage. And Cena came out of the Cody Vader with Cody on his shoulders, prepped for the AA. I thought he was going to hit it from the Cody Vader, but he took a few steps forward. I guess the springs couldn't handle it. And he then hit it onto the entrance ramp, which was still a very cool spot. I very much like that as well. A bit later in the match, towards the end of it, we had Cody dismantling the turnbuckle on the lower rope and hitting John with it a couple of times, which did lead to some boos. But here was my thing, and I'm going to be a real nitpicker about this. I was laughing really hard at Cody struggling with the fact that whether or not he should hit John either A, with the turnbuckle, which did eventually cost him after he hit him the second time. He hesitated on the third time. And then John was able to get Cody into the STFU after the third time and use the ropes for it. But then Cody was able to reverse. But either way, like between that and Cody later using the title, you're going to tell me a guy who almost literally killed his actual brother, his flesh and blood, bleeding, almost bleeding Dustin out, is hesitant about hitting John Cena in the head with either the turnbuckle or the title belt. Either way, I get the storytelling, but come on. It's just a me thing. It's just me, looking at the history of it. Either way, as I was saying, after the STFU, Cena tried to get Cody up into an AA. That led to a triple crossroads from Cody, and Cena kicked out, which then led to some Super Cena chants. Shout out to the crowd, by the way. Did it great tonight. No James was there. No Matt was there. No Scoots was there as well. So shout out to Mark It Down contingent at the Meadowlands tonight. That led to Cody getting the belt. And again, he hesitated. And then because he did so, Cena was able to duck the shot and hit two FUs/AAs, whatever you want to call them. Cena then grabbed the belt, but decided to toss it away, wanted to do it the right way, brought Cody up for and hit an avalanche FU, and Cody was able to kick out of that. Cena then set up for another avalanche AA through a table, but Cody countered what was called a Cody cutter off the top rope, but it kind of ended up looking more like a bulldog, to be honest. Either way, it was a pretty devastating move through the table. With Cena down in the ropes, Cody gave him the salute, which actually got booed, hit a final crossroads, and regained the WWE Undisputed Championship. So we'll get to the aftermath in a second, but like I said, these guys came to fucking play tonight. Cena and Cody really, really killed it. I think they probably took a lot of the criticism of WrestleMania and everything post that to heart. You kind of saw that in Cena's promo on Friday where he turned face again. I know, again, he called it bad creative, kind of, and kind of sucks leading in, but I will take this John every time. I really will. It is far, far better, I think, than what we have gotten out of the heel turn. There was a lot of potential there, and I don't want to call it squandered, but I think we were all expecting a lot more from it. This way, we got so much, and what we really wanted out of this, final John Cena run, and they went all out tonight, and they were unbelievable. I'm curious to see in the future, where this all goes, which, again, we had a whole other thing for Cena in a minute. But I wonder if this could be John Cena's last great match. Because I do consider this a great match. This was, I was not only just sports entertained, I really do think this was a phenomenal match. I had a great time watching it. It was very well wrestled. So whether or not you're looking for wrestling or sports entertainment, I think you got a good job out of these two guys on both of those fronts. So I think they were both, great in this match. And now I guess we end up in the post-match here, where afterwards Cena grabbed the title and presented it to Cody and raised his hand, and they talked for a bit. Cena got Cody to tear up a little bit, and Cena tried to leave Cody, the place to celebrate and whatever, standing in the corner. But Cody came over to Cena, raised his hand, and left him the ring to get a standing ovation. That to Brock Lesnar's music hitting, and he made his return. He came down went in, the thing. Cena tried to throw a right hand, or ducked it, hit the F5, stood, left, and then we had Cena's what was going to be Cena's music one more time, but he cut it off so he could hear the crowd's reaction as he left his final Summer Slam. Now, I'm going to get into that more a bit, but we have James Asante joining us live from the Meadowlands, or at least on his way home from the Meadowlands. James, what's going on, my guy?
Brock Lesnar has been ruining my life since I was 11 years old. This Nazi-looking son of a bitch. Hearing his music just now brought me back to when I was 11 years old, and I watched this son of a bitch beat The Rock at SummerSlam 2002. I felt like a child again. You could ask my father, you could ask who's with me, you could ask anybody who was in that row with me. I must have jumped back 5 seats because I was terrified when that music hit. I felt like a little boy, and I hate him. I hate him. He's ruined. I can't enjoy August. The month of August is ruined because of this son of a bitch.
For those of you who don't know the lore, James was at Brock Rock at SummerSlam back in the day, and if I remember correctly, was the only person rooting for The Rock in the entire building, and continues to hate Brock Lesnar because of it to this day.
I should like Brock in the ring. I should think he's awesome in the ring, but I hate him because of what he did to me as a kid. And I like, he did it to The Rock, and now he did it to John Cena. Who else is there for him to do this to me?
Just you, I think.
Right? I would have rather he F5'd me.
You're gonna have to take one at this point.
Dude, this was, for something so epic, I am dead inside. And it's funny, you beat me to it in our chat, and I made the same comment here at the building. We now know why Triple H was in the White House a few days ago.
Oh.
It was to clear the way for this return, clearly.
Yeah, I was gonna let that one slide, but yeah.
No, I am too broken to not take the low blow shot right now.
Yeah, I can't necessarily say I blame you. All right, so if you can calm down for a second.
I don't know that I don't know that I can.
But the match itself,
Incredible.
I thought, was phenomenal.
The match itself was incredible. You know my heartbreak that I didn't get to go to WrestleMania this year. You know, everybody knows. Yep. Hi, Maria. How are you?
I say Maria, Fernando, Hunter. I see you guys in the comments. I will get to y'all in a second. But
hey, everybody. You guys know I didn't get to go to WrestleMania this year, and that was really like a personal sadness for me. And I didn't get to see Cena win 17, but it was important for me to be here tonight to at least be a part of 17 in some way. But more, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm kind of glad it worked out this way, because this match was head and shoulders better than their WrestleMania match.
Oh yeah,
this was the best match of Cena's retirement tour. I don't think it's biased. Like, I don't think it's because I was here I enjoyed it more. I just think I was watching this thinking to myself, John was saving himself for this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I don't know if he thinks he only has a few bumps left on the card, on his bump card, but he put in the work tonight, going through tables, going onto the steel railing, taking move after move, wrestling on the outside. This was a John Cena main event. To quote JBL, this was big match John.
Michael Cole also said that as well. So.
God, I'm a cliche, but it was the guy I grew up watching. John could have been thumb wrestling this retirement tour, and I would love it because it's John. But I don't want to lie and say that this has been the best series of matches that he's been having since coming back and setting up this tour. But this match was incredible. It was so good that I don't mind that John lost. Like, I'm just happy to have seen it. It was so good. I'm a little irked. I don't know. Like, I know that last night I heard that fans were saying on TV the crowd didn't sound great. I don't know if you heard us tonight, but we were loud, and we were loud for this match. And it was funny because it was a very pro Cena crowd.
Oh, yeah. Cody got booed a lot.
And endearingly, we were chanting Super Cena.
I heard that. Yeah, that came through.
But then when Cody kicked out of the 2 AAs and then the top rope AA, we were chanting Super Cody, and it was not endearing. Like, there was some malice behind that chant. So I wasn't crazy about him kicking out of all of that. And I guess I'm happy there weren't any shenanigans in the match. But man, Cody did not like getting booed. When he was hitting John with the turnbuckle after he had taken off the bottom rope, and the crowd is booing that he's going to hit John with this, you could see he's reacting to the crowd reacting negatively to him.
I mean, the guy left an entire company because he didn't like getting booed, but
I don't think TNA will take him. I don't think they'll take him, man. He's got nowhere else to go. But
he did hold the NWA title once.
Nick Aldis doesn't want you to remember that. But this was a phenomenal match. Like, quick thing for you guys. As you followed on our social media, I was at SummerSlam night 1 last night. I did not have a great time at night 1. I'm not trying to crap on the show. I'm not trying to crap on the event because there were some highlights last night. The cash-in was great. The women's tag was great last night, or at least I enjoyed the women's tag. This one match was better than all of night 1. There were a couple of matches that made me feel tonight were better than all of night 1. But this main event was something special and the type of thing that I'm going to remember fondly years from now that I got to say I was here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had mentioned before you got on, I was curious maybe if this is John Cena's last great match because it was so great. And I just don't know how much more we're going to get out of him. But either way, I think this is a match we are going to look back on fondly because it was so phenomenal as obviously his final title loss and putting over Cody Rhodes before he goes out.
1 second. I got a buddy. I got a few people in the car with me. You got anything you want to say? I'm happy to put you on.
Hey, Papa G, I see you hiding there on the side.
Hold on. We got to put that light on back there.
And who we got in the back seat there?
What's up, it's Cam, But definitely that John Cena match was definitely way better than WrestleMania, for sure. The crowd was into it. The crowd was pro John Cena, of course, It was just, it was a well put together match, for sure,
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. And way to make it. Welcome to the Market Down podcast, Cam. Yeah, it was definitely far more, better, I think, put together than we had at WrestleMania. Obviously, there wasn't any interference, which I think was a big thing, especially considering I think a lot of people, and I think James lagged out there for a second. Hopefully he can come in, but, Jersey service, we'll see how it goes. It was far more put together. There was no interference, which I think was a big thing because a lot of people, I think, were expecting interference or speculating about it. And I thought it was far better as a straight up match. No heel turns from either guy. And it was just Super Cody taking out Super Cena. And hopefully Super Cody doesn't reign the same way Super Cena did. And I know, James, you might have a little bit of issue with that. But I think it was a great end to Cena's final title reign.
Hey, we don't know it's the final title reign.
Yeah, I don't think
we could get another one.
Am I speculating a little too hard there?
I think it's called copium on my part, on our part. You know, we're here for it. But
he's getting it back before he leaves.
He's
leaving with something.
I'll even take a tag team title reign with Ron Killings at this point.
Real quick.
Real quick. Hold on 1 second. Papa G, did you enjoy?
Oh yeah.
Did you enjoy SummerSlam?
I enjoyed it immensely, and I thought that the Cena event was fantastic. I did have a Cody shirt on, and James was a little peeved at me, but you know what? The better man won for now.
I disagree. He's not the better man. He's just the younger man. But everybody say hi to Papa G. Say goodbye to Papa G. And I'm sure we'll get him back on the pod at some point.
There's only the best on the SummerSlam Market Down post show.
Exactly.
See the new shirt they dropped?
No, what shirt did they drop? Damn, undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes. That's not a bad one. I don't like it though. I like it. I'm not happy right now. SummerSlam is a bitter event for James. All right?
James, you are cursed at SummerSlam. You really are.
I really am. But, you know, it is what it is. We have been sitting in this parking lot, by the way, for like 20 minutes.
So I texted you this. When you leave the Meadowlands, if you're driving, you might as well just prepare and wait out the traffic and sit in the parking lot and have a good time. It's 98% of the reason why I did not go to SummerSlam this year.
Nothing good happens in Jersey.
Nope. Except David and the cat. Hi, kids. But James, to address a comment here, Fernando saying he never thought we would see the Beast Brock Lesnar back in WWE. Objectively, I know you have your beef with Brock in SummerSlam and everything, but what do you think about Brock's return to the World Wrestling Entertainment? I almost said Federation.
All right, I'm going to come at this from 2 points of view. All right, As a mark, it's fascinating to see him back, because even though I don't know what else there is for Brock to do in the WWE, undeniably, every time he shows up, like I said, the atmosphere changes. You know you're watching something important when Brock Lesnar is on your screen. And John Cena, Brock Lesnar has a lot of history. Brock Lesnar, John Cena go back together to 2002, 2003, really, when they first started feuding. A lot of history there. When Brock came back after his years-long absence from wrestling, his first opponent was John Cena, who got the win. Suplex City was created off the back of John Cena. Literally, his back hit the mat over and over and over.
That was
Suplex City.
That was SummerSlam, if I remember correctly.
I don't want to talk about it, Rev. This event sucks. But anyway.
Well, Michael Cole did reference it. It was 16 or 18 suplexes at the time. Although technically, Suplex City was from WrestleMania against Roman Reigns. He said Suplex City bitch during the match, and that's what spawned the phrase. But the actual suplexes thing was before that at SummerSlam against Cena.
Yes, you are correct. You are correct.
I'm getting in the weeds, but continue.
yeah, you're technically correct, which is the best kind of correct. Bottom line, there's a lot of history here. And if this is how John gets the win back, I'm not going to complain, because to me, that's bigger at this point. He already hit 17. This reign wasn't going to go forever anyway. Beyond that, too. All right, so that was me as a mark. It's always interesting to see Brock Lesnar in the WWE ring. It's always interesting. As a real-life person, Brock's been gone for a while now because of some very serious allegations, and Brock has been gone for some very worrisome reasons. Now, if he's back, I have to believe it's because whatever investigation has been ongoing has cleared him. That's what I'm hoping.
I would think at the minimum, WWE feels comfortable enough where whatever is happening will eventually probably get him out of the lawsuit, because I don't think anything is currently criminal. I believe it's all civil.
Yes. So I'm gonna choose to be an optimist, and I'm gonna say that I'm hoping this means, like you said, his name is withdrawn from any lawsuit. He might be a weirdo, but as long as he's not a criminal, like doing something to hurt people, I'm not gonna hold it against him every time he shows up on screen. That said, I will actively be cheering against him. Mark, human being, whatever I am, I will be cheering against Brock Lesnar.
Dude, I could put Jesus Christ himself up against John Cena and you'd boo him.
I don't know that I'd boo, but I would definitely still be cheering for John at some points. But look, go to the comments for me real quick, because it seems like there were some people I met here at SummerSlam.
Yeah, apparently we had Stanley sitting in front of you at SummerSlam and had a good time.
I hope you enjoyed. That was a
we
pleasure.
also had Jackson's Dumb Stuff saying he met you there.
I hope you guys had a great show. I did. It was a pleasure interacting with everybody. It was a great section we were in. Heads up, section 135. We killed it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and thank you for following me here to the pod. I don't know if you found me here. I don't remember talking about the pod, which my bad. I should be hyping our stuff up more at shows, but thank you guys for being here, and yeah, pleasure.
Yeah, very nice. And to get some of the regulars here, Fernando, what's up, dude? Saying he never thought he'd see, like I said, I think I put this up already. Never thought he'd see Brock back. Thought the John Cena babyface turn maybe should have happened tonight instead of at SmackDown. But I think the SmackDown turn, while it was kind of lame just because they had to do it, it did, I think, end up leading to a phenomenal match. So I'm kind of willing to let it slide at this point.
I agree, because if Cena turned face in this matchup or at the end of this matchup, I would have expected him to wrestle heel almost the entire time.
Exactly.
And I think that would have absolutely changed what this match was. And whether or not Cody turns heel or not, these were just two guys who were intent on beating the crap out of one another. So I get the logic, Fernando, but I think we needed to get through that awkward segment and that awkward return to form to have what we got tonight, which is not only the match, but Brock. Because if Cena just turned face a second before Brock comes back, it's not going to hit as hard.
I also think in the out of the ring aspect that Cody wanted to face this John Cena.
I agree.
You know, and he faced heel John Cena at WrestleMania, but he's talked about, like, I want to face John fucking Cena. And you got John fucking Cena tonight. It led to, again, a phenomenal match.
You keep saying phenomenal. That guy lost.
I know.
He lost to a Mysterio, okay?
Well, a Guerrero looked more like it tonight, but
more like it, yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that later. Hunter saying that Brock Lesnar is gonna be in 2K25. I don't think James has that one.
When they go back to simulation style, I will buy the WWE games again. It's too arcadey right now. I shouldn't be locking up with somebody to do a move or to throw somebody into the corner. It's just ridiculous.
Dude, I've been saying that about NBA 2K since 2005.
We're screwed.
Fernando say Cody is not turning heel. It's time to give up on the fantasy. And there's a chance, but it's not now.
I think it depends on what the crowd does. Tonight,
because that worked well last time.
Well, I mean, again, he's running out of places to go. But the crowd booed Cody tonight, not because it was Cody. We were booing because he was going.
Yeah.
So if the crowd continues booing, tomorrow they're going to be at the Barclays Center. New York is a very smarky crowd. If they continue the trend and the booing continues to pick up over time, I think WWE and Cody are going to be forced to sort of look at this and whether or not they can stick with the babyface turn. So, time will tell. I think Cody's more open to turning heel now than he ever was in the past. And I'm not necessarily clamoring for it because WWE is in short supply of genuine main event baby faces. Like no shit to Jey Uso, but there are different levels right now.
Yeah, you have like your Jey Usos, LA Knight, even Punk, but there's that level and there's the Cody John Cena level, and there's levels to this game.
I agree. So I'm not clamoring for the heel turn, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Homelander Cody isn't going to kick ass.
Yes, give me dark hair Cody.
I think that's what you got to let go of.
I know I'm never going to get it again, but
the worst part about the last time we got dark haired Cody, it wasn't even his natural hair. It was black hair dye.
Yep. And it was great. The funny thing was, because I was looking back on this because I was trying to find a GIF of dark-haired Cody, and all of the Bullet Club is fine heel Cody, he was already bleach blonde.
He was blonde right out the gate, coming out of WWE. He wrestled.
No, he wasn't.
He wrestled at Ring of Honor with dark hair, but basically, as soon as he went to Japan, he went blonde.
The original Cody vignette of him with the cigars for New Japan, he had the dog hair.
Yeah, but that was before he ever stepped foot in Japan. The moment he stepped foot in Japan, he was already blonde, I think.
Fair, but I do miss dark hair Cody. To get to some more comments here, Fernando is saying that he is not a Cena fan, so he is clearly anti-James here. And watching Brock take out Cena was a beautiful thing. Dev agreeing with.
Oh, I don't know where Rev just went. This is going to be awkward, guys, because I can't do this show by myself right now.
Sorry about that. Got knocked out real quick.
You scared the crap out of me at a time where you can't do that.
My bad. As I was trying to say, Deb was saying night one was okay. This was a lot better than last night, but more importantly, he was saying that tonight's match was better than the WrestleMania match for Cody. And I would agree with.
Rev, knock me out for a second. I'm gonna come back. I just got to deal with something real quick.
Okay, well, while James deals with whatever he's got to deal with, we will continue on here with some of the comments. Fernando saying innocent until proven guilty for Brock. He's fine with him being back. He just have to get over it. And again, this is I believe more. It's a civil case, not a criminal case. But that's one of those things where, you know what? I'm just not going to get into it. And Stanley asking, do you expect the feud between Seth and Friends, who the internet's been calling the Seth Riders, which I think is a phenomenal name. So the Seth Riders and Seth against Brock Lesnar. It depends on what Brock's here for. If Brock really wants to come back, and work multiple big programs, maybe. I don't know if he would want to go for the World Heavyweight Championship, although it would legitimize it something fierce as compared to the Undisputed Championship at the moment. Because as much as I like the fact that they have the World Heavyweight Championship, it is still secondary as opposed to the OG World Heavyweight Championship, which felt almost as equal. But it really depends on what Brock wants to come back for. He might just be coming back to work with John, get a payday, and roll back out. So who knows? And I want to say hi to Pete here. What's going on, Pete? Nice to see you. Naomi needs to drop the belt soon. So we have a minute. We can talk about the Naomi match real quick before we say hello again to Maria. Lesnar versus Braun Breaker would be a good one. I do like that idea a lot. But as Pete was saying, let's head back to the top of the card where we did have Naomi versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Just a couple of notes on the match. You had Naomi's dad playing her out, which was very cool. I really like that. He was on the guitar. You had a very cool spot in the middle of the match with Naomi hitting the split-legged moonsault onto Rhea. And then they kind of did a spot a la WrestleMania with Naomi in the spot of Bianca, where Io went for the over the moonsault, but instead of hitting Naomi as she did Bianca, Naomi was able to roll out of the way, and she hit Rhea instead. So I really liked that. It was a very nice callback. I thought commentary did a great job of calling out that fact for those of us who would miss that. Great job by Maggle Cole there. To get to the end of the match, you had Rhea headbutting Io while on the second rope. She then hit an avalanche riptide, but when Rhea went for the pinfall, Naomi came in, got a roll up using the tights to keep Rhea down, and picked up the win and retained her championship. I love this match. It was a phenomenal opening match. I think Rhea has said this herself. Her and Io are wrestling soulmates, and there was a lot of this match was based around them trying to get Naomi out and make this a one-on-one kind of competition, which they really wanted to have at Evolution, which then got ruined, and at multiple times, throughout their rivalry. But Naomi obviously keeps sticking her head in, and it told a very good story. So while I think a lot of people are going to look at Rhea and Io and be like, oh, they're the ones who made this match, I thought Naomi did a great job here. She played her role very, very well, even though she didn't necessarily have to do a lot of the heavy lifting. So she did a great job. Love this match. It wasn't as good as the women's triple threat at WrestleMania with Rhea, Io, and Bianca, but this was still a great match, and I thought they did a great job with it. So shout out to them. We also had Stephanie Vacar later in the day challenge Naomi for a title match in Paris, which is going to be a lot of fun. So, Peter, maybe you get Stephanie taking the title off of Naomi. I don't know about that. Seems like it'd be a little quick for Naomi's title reign, but they have been pushing Stephanie pretty hard. She does seem like she's probably in line for something like the Women's US or Intercontinental Championship. But that IC title is a little wrapped up at the moment, I think. So I would put a belt on Stephanie immediately. Also, Julia has the U.S. Women's title, so I don't think they're running that back just yet. But hopefully Stephanie can get a title quick, but they're very high on her, so I am very high on her as well. To move on to our next match, we had the six-way tag match for the WWE Tag Team Championship in a TLC match. Wyatt 6, Andrade and Fénix, DIY, Fraxiom, Motor City Machine Guns. This was pure chaos, as is all TLC matches. As we say hi to Ash real quick, with Brock Lesnar returning, what do you like best? Brock versus Braun with Heyman at Mania 42, or Brock versus Owen Femi in a big PLE. In those two options, I think I would like Brock versus Braun. But again, I think it really depends on what Brock wants to do. If he's just back for a real quick program with Cena, I don't know if we get any of these things. It's fun to fantasy book them, but really don't know what he wants to do. He's such a mercurial guy, so we'll see what ends up happening. Back to the TLC match here real quick. We had the Dudleys and the Hardys both in the crowd at ringside, which was funny because they announced it. It's like, we have two of the teams from the first TLC match 25 years ago. And it's like, well, where's the third team? We all know where they're. Anyway, this match was great. Obviously, crazy levels of talent in this match between all of these teams. So it was going to be difficult for them not to. And I said this over on Blue Sky, which I was kind of live posting. I don't know if that was skeeting, I guess. You had most of the Machine Guns. You had DIY. You had Ray Fénix. They've all worked at PWG. I expected kind of a bit of a PWG-esque match. And you kind of got it, especially when we got to the point of the match where some of the women got involved. You had Candice LeRae come in, try to interfere on DIY's behalf. That led to B-Fab coming down because she's been running with the Street Profits. And then obviously Nikki Cross followed her, because she's part of the Wyatt Six. And that all ended with Candice getting sent off a ladder in the middle of the ring because she was trying to grab the titles into a horizontal ladder that was outside the ring, splitting it in half with her knee. And that bump looked nasty as hell because just the way she took it on her leg. So it's Candice. I'm pretty sure she's fine. I've seen her take a thumbtack super kick to the face. I think she'll be okay. But it was a nasty looking bump. But it was a great one. And I very much enjoyed all the women's involvement in the match. We also had Eric Rowan get involved a little bit later. He got taken out by the Street Profits and sent to the table. Uncle Howdy eventually got involved. That was more towards the end of the match. So we'll take that in a second. But we also had a very great spot where Ciampa was hanging off of the titles, and Frazer went to recreate the Edge spear onto Jeff Hardy, but instead Ciampa pulled himself up on the titles, and Frazer airmailed it and flopped onto the apron. Great core strength by Ciampa, and a very clever and unique spot there, and a nice twist on an old classic. As I mentioned, Uncle Howdy got involved. He ended up wiping out DIY, which then led to the finish where Andrade was able to hit a sunset flip powerbomb onto Uncle Howdy on a ladder to take him out, which I believe is a callback to an old Money in the Bank spot. And then Dexter, Lumis, and Gacy were able to take out Fénix and Andrade to clear the board, and Gacy went up to climb the ladder and retain their championships. So very fun TLC match. Like I said, a little bit PWG vibes, which I very much enjoyed. A lot of fun, and classic spot fest. And that's all we really want out of this match. It's exactly what we got it. And I had a great time watching it. As I always like to say, it was sports entertained. Or I was sports entertained. Dev agreeing with me, liking the TLC match. Heading to Stanley's comment here, with Cena having 12 dates left, where do you see the matches going? That is a very good question. Obviously, we're going to have Brock Lesnar. I don't know what the next pay-per-view / PLE is. I guess I know Paris is coming up. So if Brock wants to, go to Paris, that would be a thing. I could also see him holding out to, say, Survivor Series, just so it's A, in America, and B, in one of the big four. But it's a good question. I really don't know, because obviously we do have the Brock thing, but who else does Cena feud with? Does he have, where do his beefs go from here? So we will see what happens with one John Cena. Now I'd like to welcome in Matt Cascone live from New Jersey, I think. Oh, yep.
I'm in my car. I'm driving, so I'm obviously not looking at the screen, but
that is quite okay. Please keep your eyes on the road. But Matt, it is good to see you. How's the traffic?
It was a little bit like I kind of bailed out of there. I saw an attractive woman and I started talking to her, and then she was just kind of all over the place, and I'm like, yeah, all right, well, just follow us on World Wrestling Cosplayers on Instagram. And then I got in the car, and it wasn't too bad. And now I'm already back on Long Island. I'm about to get on the Northern State. But catch me. What are we up to right now? What are we talking about?
First of all, how are you back on the Northern State already? I just got off with James, and he was still in the parking lot.
Because he dilly-dallies. He's not quick like Flint. Was he able to get a chair? Did him and his dad get a chair like they got at WrestleMania, or no?
I didn't ask. If he comes back in, I'll definitely ask him. But leave Papa G alone, man. He's
No, all the props to Papa G. They were OP with the chairs, overprotective. I may or may not have taken one at WrestleMania 35, but I definitely did not get one tonight. It was crazy.
So I was just recapping the TLC match, but if you would like to talk about anything else in terms of John Cena, Brock Lesnar, the women's triple threat, please feel free.
I mean, I wasn't surprised by Brock because going in, I heard someone told me that there was a sighting of Brock in Newark, which was shocking enough to me. But like, I guess they're just kind of like, since Triple H is whatever in the Trump, cabinet now, they're just like, screw it, we can do whatever we want. If Brock gets indicted, then we'll get a presidential pardon. Just bring Brock back. Like, and I'm just kind of like, okay? Question mark?
Well, technically, we recap this. The Brock thing is technically civil, but so no pardons there. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. But from an in-ring standpoint, did you like the return?
Definitely. I've from an in-ring standpoint, I've definitely missed Brock. Missed Brock a lot. I think it was a shame when he left. I mean, obviously, if he's guilty of wrongdoing, then leaving, is appropriate at the very least. I think he looked cool. The only thing that bothers me, it worries me, is like we've got 4 months of Cena left. I feel like we're gonna get 2 matches, and like one's gonna be Cody again, and one's gonna be Brock. And like the last match, is it Cody or Brock? And it's like, is John gonna work with any of the young up and coming talent? Like, is that not happening? Say what you will about the Kurt Angle like farewell tour, but at least he worked with, new talent. He worked with Apollo Crews. He worked with Chad Gable. Like, Cena hasn't worked with any of the young talent. He's just doing, playing the classics with Pac and Orton and R-Truth.
Yep. As we welcome James back in from the car as well. So now I got 2 guys in the car.
We got out of the personal hell that is the parking lot at MetLife.
James, for the record, Matt is already back on Long Island.
When did you leave?
Like 5 minutes after Brock left. I don't know.
Then. Where we were, because we had handicap parking and we did prepaid parking. They had us right next to the arena.
Oh, by Azad or Continental Airlines or whatever it is now.
No, we were by Moody's or wherever. I don't know. Not important. But we're only if I didn't have to make a pit stop, I'd only be 15 minutes away from my house. But
see, I did the smart thing. I'm in my house.
All right, but you didn't get to see John Cena have a match live, so
yeah. So Matt, in terms of the Cody John match itself, how did you feel about it? I thought it was maybe John Cena's last great match.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's just tough. I don't know what it is. Maybe the seats were too low, but it's I'm on the floor and I still feel like I couldn't see a whole lot, and I was standing on my chair for 20 minutes. And I don't mean to complain. I'm glad I went. I had a good time. But a lot of emotions, mixed emotions. All I'll say is that at WrestleMania 40, I got back to the Airbnb, and I think it took you guys another hour to get back. So you should really follow my etiquette on when to leave, how to leave, yada, yada, yada.
So, some of us have to go to the bathroom after the show. Some of us
leave Papa G out of this.
We won't name names, but some people have to go to the bathroom after the show. And we picked up a friend. So,
rookie mistake.
You do what you got to do. But, Matt, you need to learn. If you're on the floor, it's only worth being on the floor
if you're
in the first 2 rows. Because we are not tall people.
Yeah, so be me or sit in the first 2 rows. Got it.
Pretty much.
So I had a couple ways of combating it. I stood against the back wall quite a few times, but they kept getting mad at people for standing up against the wall. They're like, "You're on camera," and I'm like, "Okay, so you want a bare wall instead of people watching the match?" It was weird. They even had what's his name? Lyra's fiance. They were hassling him. He's just trying to be he's trying to be discreet, just watching from, the wall. And I'm like, damn, man, you can't even watch your fiance get her ass kicked. He's like, yeah, I know. He's a funny guy.
Yeah. Maria saying, though, in the chat that she agrees with Matt. The Cena run has just been playing the hits, and he hasn't had matches with promising young talent. James, this is something Matt was talking about before you hop back in here. Would you like to see Cena chop it up with some younger talent instead of just mixing up with the very, very top of the card guys?
I mean, ideally, I'd like a mix. Ideally, I'd like to see John go against young guys and his old rivals. But my issues with his retirement run haven't been his opponents. They've been the matches themselves.
Yes, agreed.
And, like, granted, Cena Cody was never really a thing. Sure, we got Cena Stardust, but who cares? So Cena Cody was never really a thing. Cena R-Truth was, but this was a very different dynamic. So I don't really care about that either. But yeah, I would like to see Cena versus Breaker. I would like to see Cena versus Mello. I would like to see Cena versus Trick or Joe Hendry. I would like to see Cena versus there are a few people, like Cena versus Jacob Fatu.
That was one I wanted, yeah.
That'd be a great one too. Cena, I would love to see Cena versus LA Knight. But now that Cena's a face, it's a little bit of the appeal is gone. But I would like to see him against new people, fresh faces. But I'm not gonna bitch and moan that I got Cena versus Punk again. I'm not gonna bitch and moan that I got Cena versus a lot of these guys that he's gone against. So it's you take what you can and try to find enjoyment in it. Personally.
So I think that allows me to bring up a question we had in the chat earlier when you guys were out from Stanley here. Cena only has 12 dates left. Where do you see these matches going? Obviously, we have the Brock one at some point, but I'll start with you, James, and then I'll go to you, Matt, after that. But James, first, where do you see Cena going outside of Brock Lesnar?
Outside of Brock, I really did think I think again it's copium. I was expecting Rock to show up and be on Team Cody. In my brain, I thought we were going to get a Survivor Series match where it was going to be like Team Triple H versus Team Rock. But that's clearly not the direction they're going, and I don't know what's going on with The Rock. I don't know. I don't really know who else is on the list of people from his past that it's like, wow, this will be a match. This is something I need to see. So I like that there's a little bit of mystery. Again, 12 dates doesn't mean 12 matches.
Yeah, we're going to get 2, maybe 3.
Yeah. So I know there's a lot of speculation Gunther is going to be his final opponent in December. Maybe. I'll be honest, I don't personally care to see that. But, yeah, I like that there's a little bit of mystery. Like, I don't think anybody... I would have loved to have seen the Vegas betting odds on Brock. Yeah.
Well, he was spotted in Newark, so if I was into betting, I'd be like, "Oh, you spotted Newark? I'll put $50 on Brock showing up at SummerSlam."
Yeah, you could have in the UK, but Matt, sorry to cut you off, James. Go ahead.
Our friend Cam in the back said that Cena versus Seth is an option, and I think that's true. A heel Seth versus Big John, I think they could do that. Say that again.
Cam.
Yeah, after that attempted cash in, there's a lot that you could do there, and you could also I don't necessarily see it happening, but if they want Cena to win the World Heavyweight, to say he's won every belt he could ever win in WWE.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yes, pray to our Lord Jesus Christ that Cena.
Oh my God.
I agree, Matt. I agree.
You, Mark.
All I know is Joe Hendry, I don't think he's getting the rub. I don't think he's getting a match.
I can see them maybe having interaction, but I think at this point, maybe not a match, unfortunately, for Joe.
Do you remember a few years ago when Cena feuded with Miz, and Miz did that bit where he fought Invisible Cena?
Yes,
yeah.
And it was great.
I think that's the best Joe Hendry can hope for at this point. Granted, I mean, hey, if he wants to lose to Cena in 2 minutes just to complete the trifecta of WWE embarrassments, why not? But
Yeah.
I love Joe, but I've given up on fantasy booking him in WWE because it's sad. It's sad at this point.
Tune into the Gym Pack Zone on Thursdays to hear James commiserate over the TNA WWE partnership. Go ahead, Matt. Oh, I thought you were going to say something, Matt. My bad. To move away from to move away from the Cena Cody stuff, because we kind of covered that already. Matt, what did you think of the opening match with Naomi, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley? I thought it was great. Obviously, maybe not as good as the triple threat at WrestleMania, but I thought all the women played their parts perfectly, and we ended up with a very, very good match.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I like the dynamic between Rhea and Io. You know, they're both there to try and win, but it's not like a blood feud between them. So they had some fun, like beating up on Naomi. And I think it was smart to put Naomi on top. You know, don't let her have like some BS title run. Like, she deserves it. All women look great in this match. And also, like, all three totally different types of women wrestlers. You know, they all have their different strengths, and they paired well together. So it's something you really like to see, and I enjoyed it. And I think the right woman came out on top.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I mentioned this earlier. I believe Rhea said in the past, James, that her and Io are wrestling soulmates. And you can clearly see that in the match where, because a lot of the match story was told where they really just wanted to face each other one-on-one and were trying to throw Naomi out. And Naomi was just a thorn in their side the entire time. And eventually she was able to use that to come out on top.
No, I love the story they told in this matchup. Naomi, the quote-unquote unworthy champion who cashed in to get into this in the first place, but proving that she belonged. I'm a big fan of Naomi, so I'm happy to see her get this win. Rhea and Io, we know that this is we don't need to explain their chemistry. We don't need to explain how good both of these women are, both individually and together. They're just that damn good, and we've seen it time and time and time again. To me, the bigger story, and I don't know if you guys heard it at home. If you did, let me know. The crowd was very split on Rhea. Beyond being very, for the most part, the crowd was cheering everybody. There was a bias for Naomi from what I heard, but beyond just cheering for everybody, we got the "Let's go Rhea, Rhea sucks" chant. And I am genuinely terrified of these fickle fans turning on Rhea. And I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I don't know why being successful in professional wrestling is a bad thing, that people start to turn on you. But it sucks to see, because I don't think she's doing anything wrong. I think she's killing it. Like, maybe you could argue she's gotten one too many title shots, but when you're that over, when you're that important to the show, and they don't give that much time to women's wrestling outside of title matches, it is what it is, people. Deal with it.
Do you think those chants might have just been because Io was in the match and people were split on her and wanted to cheer for her, and that just resulted in a Rhea sucks chant? Or
I don't know, because look, we know that the internet wrestling community is not the end-all be-all on crowd reaction, but they've been turning on her for a while. They've been turning on her for a little while here and there, and now to start hearing it in these crowds, it's a little alarming. And granted, it's like I've said, New York, New Jersey, the metropolitan area, it's a very smarky area. So I get that they're probably the ones on the internet the most. But it's interesting to see where this plays out. It's like I said, the same thing with Cody earlier. Let's see if this is something that persists post New York, post Jersey, and if it does, then we got to look at some things there. But fun matchup. I think, again, going into night two was leaps and bounds better than night one. and this was a great start to the show. And I think the crowd was super into it. They booked it very, very well. And at any point, there was a believable moment that any one of those women could have won it.
Right on.
Yeah. I do think, I guess, in terms of Rhea, I think they have to be careful of not booking her similarly to the way they did Charlotte Flair for a very long time, where it's just constant title shot after title shot after title shot. Because you can feel the fatigue with Charlotte, and now you look at what she's doing now, and granted, she did win a title yesterday, but it's a different title, and she's not in the main event picture, and she has a fresh new tag team partner, and people love her now. And not now, but I love her again.
Love is a strong word, but yes.
But like people, at least, you know, the IWC and the Smarky crowds, I think have really been like, finally she's doing something different and it's good and we can enjoy her, as opposed to just dealing with her getting a title shot because her name is Flair. So
it's an enjoyable dynamic that they have right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Her and Alexa have great chemistry both on screen and in the ring, I think. So yeah, well, hopefully we can avoid that same thing, Matt, with Rhea, is my point.
Yeah, I'd love to see Alexa Bliss and Charlotte take on Rhea and Io Sky. I've said it on Instagram. I think they are very dynamic as a duo, and they would be great, you know, tag team champions, if not, you know, just contenders.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good freaking match right there. Rhea and Io against Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. I would take that 9 times out of 10.
That would be a good one.
There's your Survivor Series match, Trips. Book it.
Cam, you got anything you want to add on the women's triple threat that started the show tonight?
Yeah, no, I agree with y'all. Like, it was a good match. Anybody could have won it. But I do agree that they need to start booking Rhea differently.
Yeah,
they definitely do. They need to do some type of switch because it's starting to get repetitive. You know? But she is over, so you can't say that she hasn't deserved it. But at the same time, you know, you still got to switch it up because the fans, you know, they get tired. You know, they get tired of the same thing.
So I'm going to let you guys know I'm about to go into a tunnel. Let's see how this goes, but we're about to go into a tunnel. The last thing I wanted to say, just in case I do get cut off, we were talking about tag teams. We're talking about booking people a little bit differently. I wouldn't be opposed, and someone said it in our private chat, Rhea Liv tag team could be a way. When Liv comes back, she's going to be a massive baby face, and she's going to need help against Raquel and Roxy. So maybe that's, you know, what we need to do for everybody to stay fresh.
I mean, I would assume then Dom would have to dump Liv for Roxy, but but yeah, I mean, they tagged previously. They could come together over, you know, a fuck my ex-boyfriend type of situation and get back together, and it could be a fun thing to do. So perhaps that does happen. But I think Cam actually hit the nail on the head there. Word of the day, Mark Briscoe style, is repetitive. You don't want to keep booking Rhea in the same situation over and over and over. And I understand that the ultimate goal is, you know, either the WWE Women's Championship or the Women's World Championship. But either way, you know, in wrestling, at a certain point, you got to get sidetracked to get you out of the title picture. Otherwise, you're just doing the same thing over and over and over, and it can get to be a bit boring. And that's how you end up with people being annoyed with you.
Can we take a second to applaud my coverage? Because we are in the heart of this tunnel right now, and it is perfect.
I thought you were going to say your coverage of the show, and I was like, that's a little pat on the back, but self-aggrandizing. But no, your actual cell phone coverage. And Matt's too. Matt's got a decent carrier, it seems like. He's holding up.
AT&T, you know, you're killing it for me tonight. So if you want to give us...
No free ads.
Let's do it. No, I'm asking for the sponsorship here. We're trying to go corporate.
That's true. We got to bring in the money. The next match was, guys, the six-way TLC match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Matt, I had a lot of fun with this. It felt a little PWG. You know, you had those kind of spots, especially when the women got involved, and Candice especially getting involved and damn near breaking her leg on that ladder. But considering you had Motor City Machine Guns and DIY involved. I was expecting some PWG nonsense. But I had a lot of fun watching this match. Great spot fest, and I had a good time, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to love about a big old TLC match? I mean, all these teams are great. I wish that Pretty Deadly, we're 100%. I know one of them is injured. Don't ask me which one, but they'll get their time in the sun soon, I'm sure. And I think the right team came out on top, and the way they booked it, it was fun to have like everyone get involved. But like at the end of the day, it was the actual champs who climbed the ladder and tore the titles down for the retention of the tag team titles. Woo boy, I'm tired.
Yeah, man. Well, it's not that late. It's only 11:20 here on the East Coast. But...
I've been driving quite a bit. I'm about 10 minutes away from home, so I'm happy.
Dude, Jersey to Long Island is insanity. I've done it. It is hell on earth. God bless you for being able to make it back.
I did it for 3 days. I got tons of great we did just all our listeners. I was at WrestleCon. I did some videos there, so we'll definitely have some stuff in the pipe coming on Instagram. And then I did Subway on my way to Summer Slam. I did Subway Mania this afternoon. So I got some footage for that. Yeah, Zilla did Subway Mania, and he was there for the Jacob Fatu match. So we'll get to that.
Yeah, I saw him in the crowd for the Jacob Fatu match.
Yeah, he was trying to be discreet, but I just right before he went through the tunnel, I just like gave him a wave, and he's good people.
Yeah, so check us out on Mark It Down Pod over on Instagram. You can catch up with all Matt's stuff. He's not only going to Subway Mania, but he is a featured wrestler now on Subway Mania. So be sure to check all that really cool shit out over there. James, how'd you feel about the TLC match?
I loved it. I think that it was such a good showcase. It's a shame that like the only way these tag teams can get on pay-per-view is in a gimmick match like this, where they just throw them all together.
Yeah, it feels like the old IC title ladder matches at Mania. It's like, all right, get everyone on the card. But it still comes through so great in the match.
No, it does. When you're going to have that type of match, most of the time it's going to be great. And when you have the talent that you had in that match, it's going to be great. And it was great. It was a fun match to be there to watch live. I'm sure it was fun to watch on TV.
Yeah,
you had so many fun spots. I loved seeing the group's respective women show up. I loved seeing Candice. I loved seeing B-Fab. I don't know how many people like B-Fab. I'm a big B-Fab fan.
Cool.
I like seeing Nikki Cross get involved. I cringed a little bit at Uncle Howdy just because like what was going to happen there? What was he going to do? But at the same time, I'm just glad that he got a moment. If you guys couldn't tell, I'm in Manhattan now. But yeah,
hot take. You should have went through Staten Island and went around.
No, we're picking. We're dropping off and we're picking up. So.
All right.
But the highlight of the night, of not only the match but the night, was that the Hardys were there. I cannot go to a wrestling event without Jeff Hardy showing up. So, real cool for me. But yeah, I loved the women getting involved. I loved. We got a lot of classic spots. Like the 4 tables on the outside crash out.
Yeah.
The ladders getting broken. There were some really good spots. Overall, I want to say one of the spot of the match and possibly one of the spots of the night was Ciampa dodging the jump from the ladder.
Yeah, the spear.
Holding on to the titles.
Pulling himself up, his legs.
I got it. It's not great, but I got it.
Yeah, I got it too. It was incredible. And probably an unpopular opinion, Ciampa's always been my guy in DIY. I know a lot more people are Gargano guys. I've always been a Ciampa guy. So I was really happy to have him. I mean, duh. But I watched him more in Ring of Honor than I ever watched Gargano and PWG or I think Chikara he was. But
same.
Yeah. Fun matchup. I guess the right team won. It's tough to say because, like, they just won the titles somewhat recently. And if you're going to take the titles off of a team like that, you should have a team rise up to beat them. And all the teams were protected because of how much interference the Wyatt Six had. They had Nikki Cross. They had Rowan. They had Uncle Howdy. Like, the numbers were almost even at a certain point. So, fun matchup. I think the right team won, and one of the highlights of the night.
Yeah, I would think so too. Just because again, they just won the titles, it'd be kind of dumb to immediately take it off of them. And I don't know where you would want to run storyline wise with a different team at the moment. As much as I like a lot of these teams, shout out my guy Ray Fénix being stuck in a tag team in WWE right now, as opposed to his brother, but
with Andrade.
Yeah, right. Of all people,
what monkey paw did we come across? That Penta is doing his own thing on Raw, not getting on the SummerSlam card, but Fénix did get on the SummerSlam card, but teaming with Andrade.
Penta's the cooler wrestler. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
The rumor is that, like, a lot of people are pulling for Andrade backstage. Like, a lot of people have had, like, good things to say about him, from what I heard.
From what I heard.
Go ahead, James. Sorry.
I mean, from what I heard, people are pulling for Alberto Del Rio to come back.
So yeah, that's been a report.
Care who's pulling for who in that company. They're just wrong. So,
hey, Brock just came back.
Oh,
but I think my thing is Penta clearly is like the cooler guy, cooler character. And as great as Penta is as a wrestler, I've always enjoyed Ray Fénix's wrestling more. I thought for a while there he was one of the top 3 wrestlers on the planet. Like for me, it was him, Kenny, and Okada were the top 2 wrestlers on the planet for me for a while. And watching him go from having the AEW International Championship, and I know it was kind of a fluke, but from him going to that to now being in this tag team and just kind of thrown into the SummerSlam card, I'm like, man, you see what you gave up, my guy. But hey, if he's happy, I'm happy for him.
Real quick, Cam, what did you think of the tag team ladder match?
It was fantastic. They had some good spots. As far as the winners, I think, yeah, it's cool that they retained, but I feel like where do you go next though with this? You know, which tag team? You use all of them, so
yeah.
Who's next up now? You know,
Pretty Deadly.
You used all of them, so is there a new tag team? Is that what we're getting? You know,
Matt.
Boy.
Matt, Pretty Deadly somehow wins the tag titles off of the Wyatt Six. We will have to figure out something as like a punishment for you that you willed it into the galaxy, into the universe.
Wait, why is that a bad thing?
Pretty Deadly beating the Wyatt Six. There has to be some cosmic balance that needs to be done for that to have happened.
That is not where I thought you were going with that. I thought you were going to be like, I will do this. And you were like, no, Matt will do this.
But that's not as fun for me. Why would I put myself up for this?
Because you started talking.
Yeah.
What if you guys think you have all the answers? Just remember, I'm changing the question.
Yep.
All I know is that Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt lost to the B team. They were the anomaly. So maybe this is coming back to bite Bo Dallas in the ass or in the butt, if I want to stay with the B's.
Nice alliteration there.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a fan of alliteration.
Walk inside real quick. Because I'm home, bitches.
Matt, back on the island. Yeah. All right, let's move on to our next match. We've been covering this for a while. We did actually, in between this here, on at least on the TV side, we had a quick Seth Rollins cash-in recap, and they played all the foreign announced teams, and they were far better than Michael Cole. And sorry, Michael.
Oh, wait. Can I say one thing real quick?
Go ahead.
Not only were the Hardys in the audience, but the Dudley boys were in the audience. And
so, I think they announced this to the crowd, but they said we had 2 out of the 3 teams from the original TLC match 25 years ago.
They told us, but I'm only going to care about one of those teams right now. And it's very clearly the team I've been pulling for like 2+ decades.
James, if it does make you happy, though, they did announce the Hardys as the TNA World Tag Team Champions. So
all I know is that they should get, when they do Bound for Glory, when they do the tables match with the Hardys and the Dudleys, like, bro, just get Edge and Christian. Figure it out. Do it.
Tony
TNA,
Khan,
the
just
true
let
forbidden
them
door.
go. Just let them go. Let TNA have them for the night. Let them go. Yeah,
there was a day.
Also, Bubba Ray Dudley was miserable at WrestleCon. Like, I've never seen a man look so unhappy and just like unapproachable and like, bro, why are you even here if you're like you don't want to, see anybody or do anything with anybody? Like, it's just not a good look.
Hey, be a fan.
I've just been tired. Also, it's a very nice kitchen, Matt. The other thing we had, I think, in this spot was the presidential fitness test, and I only bring that up to tell the story where I pulled a muscle in my back trying to touch my toes. After this, we had the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship match, which was Becky Lynch against Lyra Valkyria. It was no disqualifications and no countouts, the latter of which I think was slightly redundant, but whatever. Also, we had Becky debut a new theme song tonight. It was by the Wonder Years. And Matt, I liked it, but classic Becky theme is best Becky theme, so I thought it was okay.
Yeah, no, I like the new theme. Like it, I think she needs to do something else, something different. So, I think it worked overall. Of course, James leaves as soon as I want to leave.
Yeah, no, well, he looks like he had to do something real quick, so I took him out for when he comes back up. But go ahead.
There was some fun spots with the lot of kendo sticks, and then like Lyra was struggling with the zip tie, but she got through it.
So I don't know if you saw this live, but there was a point when after Becky had beat her with the wrench, Lyra's hand slipped out of the zip tie far earlier than it should have, and she had to put it back into the zip tie. And then later in the match, after the fire extinguisher spot, she was trying to cut the zip tie on the fire extinguisher, couldn't get it done. So she very smartly just went out of the ring and just took it off.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see it. It's like, oh, she must have done something there. So great play from Lyra there. Just to run down the end of the match here, Becky had trapped Lyra in a chair, was bouncing her off the announce table and the post before stomping the back of it. And then Becky went to take out Lyra with a crowbar, and then Bayley came out and stopped Becky. Becky gave Bayley the crowbar and said, "You want to do this? Hit her, hit her, hit her." Bayley instead threw it away, started beating on Becky, yelling, "You took everything from me." That led to Lyra, after Becky had thrown Bayley into the crowd, coming out of nowhere to hit a leg drop on Bex through a table on the outside. The two eventually got back in the ring. Becky countered Nightwing, and then Bayley tried to hit Bex with a steel chain. Didn't know they were big Hangman fans. Wrapped around her hands. That had been a bit of a through line of the match, but Becky ducked it, hit Lyra instead. Becky then hit a manhandle slam and retained her title. And now Lyra cannot challenge for the IC title as long as Bex hold it. So, love this match. I was very torn between two Irish women throughout the whole thing, because Becky is one of my all-time favorites, and Lyra is quickly becoming one of my favorites. But I think, Matt, we're in a very curious spot here because we're going to see now where Becky goes from here with the IC title, presumably getting new challengers, especially since Lyra can't go for that title anymore. And then there's the Bayley of it all. Does she go after that title? Does she deal with Lyra? You still with us, Matt?
Yeah.
Sorry, you dropped the phone. It's funny. But yeah, as I was saying, does Bayley go after Bex? Does she, end up feuding with Lyra because she accidentally calls her the title? So great match. A lot of questions coming out of it, obviously, to advance the story here.
I'll I'll just say that with Lyra and the zip ties, she showed it was a little wonky, but she worked through it. She didn't let it ruin the match, as opposed to say like Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, who had just a fantastic Royal Rumble match that just got completely ruined by the end with the handcuffs, like their last man standing match. It's such a shame because I loved everything going on with that match up until that point. So it's great that Lyra didn't let something like that hinder the match itself. So I would just want to say brava to her. And yeah, she's really, I'm still not 100% sold on her, but like that's only character wise, but she's getting better and better, and she's certainly in a great position that I think she has earned herself. So sorry, I'm kind of rambling here. Like I said, I'm tired.
It's all good. Don't worry about it. James, obviously discussing the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. I was just telling Matt, I don't know if you saw it live, Lyra's hand actually came out of the zip ties at one point. She was able to slip her hand back in and then was able to cut them later and had to go into the ring. But so I thought she did a great job there as Matt just houses ice cream.
Matt, no, why not while you're on camera.
There's barely any left.
All right, chew off camera.
Yeah, James, great. I thought this was a lot of fun match. And like I said, I think it sets up a lot of avenues for all of these women, Becky, Lyra, and Bayley coming out of it.
First and foremost, disgusted with this New Jersey crowd who could not care less about this matchup. They were awful, doing the wave, chanting for themselves, going into business for themselves because they just did not care about this matchup.
Far cry from WrestleMania.
What?
I said far cry from the WrestleMania a few years ago.
Do I think that this match had an unfortunate placement coming right out of that ladder match? Absolutely. I get it. But this wasn't a crowd that was tired. This was a crowd that was apathetic. So I'm really, really bummed. The match itself was good. I don't think it was amazing or anything, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun matchup. I think they did the best that they could. I'm really, really coming around on Lyra.
Love her.
Anybody whose finisher's named the Nightwing, I'm in.
As he pulls up his sleeve for the tattoo.
Would you look at that? Yeah. But the match itself was good. I think there were some creative spots. Lyra getting stuck in the chair and then Becky stomping it was really good.
That was a good one, yeah.
I thought it was so fun. The gigantic crowbar against the kendo stick. I thought that was funny. I'm not crazy about the Bayley of it all. I think that the Bayley aspect of it was beyond unnecessary. I think it was silly. What? She can interfere and attack Becky, try to attack Becky with the chain and accidentally hit Lyra, but when the pin is happening, she's not going to get involved and break up the pin. Yeah. That's where she draws the line.
The shock was so overwhelming that she couldn't break up the pin. Yeah.
So I think it's a little silly. But yeah, I thought it was a fun matchup. I was taken out of it by the crappy crowd, but I really did enjoy what I saw of it. Not what I saw of it. I enjoyed what I watched, and I don't know where any of these women go from here. I guess Becky Bayley is the match, but again, I think probably Lyra gets involved. So it just sort of feels like the merry-go-round continues.
Yeah, well, they did have the stipulation where Lyra now can't challenge for the title. So, I mean, do we end up with Lyra Bayley at some point? But I think we already got that.
We did.
Yeah, I feel like this is all kind of losing a little bit of steam. It's reaching its end, point of diminishing returns, and so on and so forth. So
it feels like we're going around in circles.
Exactly. Yeah. So I do think I think for the benefit of all these women, they should probably just move on. Maybe you get a Becky Bayley match one more time before they go, but I think Lyra is going to move on to a different program, and Bayley's probably got to go do something else as well. Yeah. That would be my guess.
But guys, unfortunately, I got to call it for here. You guys are going to kill it. Finish.
The battery's dying.
Yeah, I just gotta, with the traffic and everything, it's getting a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I will stay in the chat. I will, be in the comments. I'll keep watching. You guys are killing it. SummerSlam Night 2, incredible 2025. And yeah, really looking forward to what's coming next with WWE, which is the first time I can say this in a while. So cool stuff.
Yeah. All right. So James, Papa G, Cam in the back seat there. Thank you for joining us, guys. Safe home. We appreciate you guys calling in from the road, as always. And we'll see you guys later.
Later. Take me out if you can.
I got you. All right. So, Matt, before we move on to the next match, we'll say hi to Mr. Penguin. What's going on, dude? Good to see you again, as always. Fernando saying that Lyra should have won the match. Honestly, Fernando, I thought she was going to win the match just because of the stipulation where she wouldn't be able to challenge again. And I'm not putting this on Becky. I kind of figured Bex was going to put her over, and we would get another IC title run for Lyra, but I was wrong. And Mr. Penguin saying that James is looking out for Brock Lesnar. All right, moving on to our next match, Matt, my bad. We had Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu for the WWE United States Championship in a steel cage match. So this match ended. We had MTF show up. Jimmy Uso came down, super kicked JC Mateo and Tama Loa before Tama Tonga, then took him out. And then later, as Fatu was trying to chase down Solo, escape in the cage, Tama Tonga handcuffed him to the top. So Solo tried to escape through the door, and Jacob, off camera because they missed it, just pulled the handcuffs off and snapped them in half, and then got down there, caught Solo, slammed the door into JC Mateo's head, and then as Solo and Fatu were fighting at the door, Tama Tonga slammed the door into Jacob's head and kind of caught Solo in the process, but he did sell it, but he was able, it wasn't as bad as he did Fatu, and that allowed Solo to escape the cage and retain his title. Then after the match, Solo sent JC after Jimmy Uso, but Jimmy was able to take him out, throw him into the cage, and Jacob Fatu climbed to the top of the cage, and then hit both him and Tama Tonga with a moonsault from the top of the cage to take them both out. I had multiple problems with this match. First of all, I have issues with escaping the cage in general, but the door, as always, sucks. I know that it is created some creative finishes, but I hate it just generally. It is terrible. The other issue I had with it was apparently no one's kicked out of Jacob Fatu's moonsault in WWE at all. And then he hit two of them consecutively and Solo kicked out. So you got to be fucking kidding me with that. But otherwise, it was a fun match. I didn't have too many complaints about it. It was a solid steel cage match. But those two things, just the standard, I'm going to escape through the door thing always pisses me off. And then just ignoring a finisher, just really, especially one that hasn't been got kicked out of, really ticked me off. But that being said, good match from these two guys. So I will lay out a bit and let you go.
No, I had the same thoughts. I didn't realize no one had kicked out in WWE, but yeah, the fact he hit it twice, I'm like, damn, what are we doing? The Cody Rhodes thing, where just finisher and all of a sudden he doesn't kick out. So that bugged me. Yeah, the handcuff spot, missing that bugged me.
They had to show a replay after the match because they just completely missed it on the camera.
Yeah. I mean,
it looked a little more like AEW than WWE.
It happens. I think Jacob should have won, but who knows? Maybe they have other plans for him. We'll see. Zilla was there. That was cool. Like he got to watch that match, so that was fun for him, I'm sure. Shout out to the main one. Sorry, I'm getting tired.
Oh,
Also, I want to say, like you said, MTF. It's MFT.
MFT, yeah. I wrote it down wrong on my thing, my notes.
It's so bad. Like I can't believe they brought this back. And the worst part is the t-shirts, they look like MJF t-shirts. Like it looks like it says MJF, but it says MFT. And I'm like, MJF should sue them. Like just or just send them a cease and desist just for fun, because it's a terrible t-shirt, it's a terrible nickname, and it looks like MJF.
I genuinely didn't know what it stood for until tonight. And I know I don't keep up every week with WWE, but like I would just see MFT stuff, around, and I was like, "What the fuck is MFT?" It's My Family Tree. That's your group's name, My Family Tree.
Is that what it is? I thought it used to be when they first started doing it. It was motherfucking Tonga, like my MF, like
So maybe they're biting that, and then Cole said it was My Family Tree today. So.
It was initially because it was just Tamatonga, and it was my MFT, my mother effing Tonga.
Oh, okay. So yeah, maybe that's what they're riffing off of. I didn't know that. I appreciate the heads up, because My Family Tree is lame as shit. But if they're riffing off of that, I'll accept it.
My Tree's bad, but it's not like a good initial, and it's not like a good t-shirt.
Yeah. Like it's not the best. Mr. Penguin was saying that he thought the ending was maybe a little bit botched. Did you see any of that? I didn't really see anything to that effect too badly, but
I think he meant maybe when JC Mateo slammed the door.
He did catch Solo clean in the head with it.
He got a lot of Solo, and Solo didn't sold it, and Jacob had to sell most of it. And I was just
I thought Solo did do a good job of selling it, where Jacob, quote unquote, caught most of it, but where he did also get hit in the head, but was still able to come out. And because he was out there like, "Oh, you got me in the head, you bastard!" Like he was still selling, but it was more of I just caught it less than Jacob did. So I thought he did a decent job of playing it off, but I agree with that. Also, Eric's saying we should advertise that Stone Cold was on the podcast, and I will say Matt is a very good look for you.
Thanks. I'm actually going to call it a night. So give me a hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, Matt, thanks. Appreciate you checking in from the road. Hope you had a good time tonight. I think you froze, so I'm gonna let you go here. But we will see you next time. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you a lot. All right, we got one more match to cover here on the Mark It Down podcast, and that is Dominik Mysterio versus AJ Styles for the WWE I wrote International. Wow, I've been watching too much AEW. WWE Intercontinental Championship. Let me fix that real quick. This was a lot of fun, mostly just because they did a great job doing a lot of Eddie Guerrero tributes in this match, which was great. Apparently, it is the 20th anniversary of the the Ray versus Eddie match for the custody of Dominik Mysterio. So that was really cool. And the entrances, I'm going to start there because one of them was awesome and one of them sucked. And the first one was Dom's, and he came out, and then they put up, hey, we have a sponsored vote for what gear Dom should wear. And this is one of those things, and it just allows me to harp on WWE for a minute. One of those things where that is just so lame. And you can see the TKO regime really taking hold in a situation like this. I don't mind the mat ads so much. I'm a boxing fan. I'm used to them. Doesn't bug me at all. I don't mind them on the turnbuckles. I don't even mind them on the barricades, but having a sponsored ad for the gear somebody's going to wear is so freaking lame. So that really annoyed me. And then immediately after that, AJ comes out in a Chevy lowrider wearing an homage to Eddie's gear, comes out with his own son, and I was immediately less mad. So freaking WWE. Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Anyway, to go to the end of this match, you had Dom take off the turnbuckle pad and then use that distraction because the referee just watched him do it. So he undid it. The ref watched him, grabbed the turnbuckle pad, put it back on. Then allowed Dom to jump out of the ring, grab a chair, go back in, and attempt to pull an Eddie where he hit the chair into the mat, threw it at AJ, and fell. And AJ, being incredibly smart, put the chair over his neck and fell. And the referee turned around and was like, what the hell? So great spot from him there. That eventually led to AJ getting in a calf crusher, and Dom was getting to the ropes. But right before AJ got in the calf crusher, Dom had unzipped his boot so it was loose, a la Eddie Guerrero against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. AJ then pulled off the boot, and when he went to hit Dom, Dom ducked it, and AJ almost hit the ref, which allowed Dom to take his boot and hit AJ in the face with it. Dom then went up, hit the frog splash, and was able to retain his title. And frankly, this was a love letter to Eddie Guerrero. And I thought it hit perfectly. It hit all the right notes for such a match. I had a lot of fun watching it. I think the crowd reacted great to it. And I was a little surprised that there wasn't any interference. But I also don't know the status of one Liv Morgan. And I think any interference / Dom losing his title because of said interference will not come until she is healthy. And then we'll see what happens in terms of maybe Judgment Day turning on him and or her and him losing the title and whatever. But I would think I was a little bit happier that none of that happened, just because we got such a great tribute to Eddie, get 20 years from SummerSlam from that match. So it was great. Mr. Penguin, loving Dirty Dom, the GOAT. He is, as you said, a 20-year veteran. Beat me to it. And AJ's son dyed his hair blonde like Dom did. Dom, actually, he was said in an interview the other day that he was thinking about going blonde again, just bleaching it for fun. He was like, I don't know how I'd look, but he was like, if I had the blonde hair and the mullet and the mustache. But I think Dom is kind of getting to a point, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying about Liv returning. He's going to turn face soon, and it's going to be very similar to Eddie, where he's going to keep doing the same shit, but everyone loves him for it because he's been so great as a bad guy that everyone just loves him and is starting to cheer him to a point. And I think we boo him for fun, I think. But we all love whatever he's doing. So I think when Liv comes back, I have to imagine, I don't know if it's going to be her, whatever happens with Judgment Day, he's going to probably end up being the face on the side of that turn. But he's going to be that really like lovable rapscallion, for lack of a better phrase. I can't think of the real word I'm thinking for. But he's going to do what Eddie did. He's going to lie, cheat, steal, and we're going to love him for it. And it's going to be a really fun face turn. And he's going to sell a lot of merch. So whenever that comes down the pipeline, I'm very much here for it. I'm very much excited for it. But for tonight, he played his heel role perfectly. And I really like that they did the throwback to the Eddie Kurt boot thing at WrestleMania. That was a great callback. I thought it made so much sense in this match. And then Dom was able to even turn it and add on it by using the boot as a weapon to keep his heel status and, win in, a bit of an even more heel strategy. James is saying that was not it. What was not it? If I may. I'm assuming you're going to follow up on that. But I did have a lot of fun with that match. Anyway, so that was SummerSlam. And I watched night one earlier today. I kind of just burned through it because I wasn't able to watch it last night. I went to the Mets. Let's go Mets, even though we got waxed today. But I thought night two was a lot better. I know James was saying earlier that he had a much better time tonight than he did yesterday. There were some highlights of night one. The women's tag team match I thought was a very good match. Obviously the cash in, and I thought the main event last night was very good too. But night two definitely killed it. I was very sports entertained, and I thought any gripes I did have, which a lot of them apparently came in the steel cage match, weren't enough to take away from my enjoyment of this show. I think for me personally, what did take away from my enjoyment of the show was just the continuation of the commercialization of WWE. It is my continued gripe with the show. It is why I do not watch it on a weekly basis, and I just keep up on Reddit or YouTube or whatever it is, just because it's annoying. Like I said with the Dom thing, having a sponsored poll for his gear is so fucking lame. We go back to WrestleMania. Sponsored entrances are lame. Like they're putting an ad on everything they possibly can. And to the point where it's annoying. It's really annoying. And there's a good 10, 15 minutes between every match because it's ad after ad after ad. And it becomes almost oppressive. So I had a really good time watching the wrestling tonight. I liked what happened in the ring a whole lot tonight. Don't get it twisted. This was a good night of wrestling or sports entertainment. I think I'll lean a little more bit towards that way. But just because, the in-ring work is different than it is in AEW, which thing I normally watch. But I had a very good night watching the in-ring performances from the men and women tonight. Everything else can go fuck itself. It really can. So, shout out to the performers tonight. As for WWE and TKO, can you please stop throwing every corporate thing you can into my face? I would appreciate it a whole lot. James saying that WWE needs the sponsorship money or they're going to go under. Sure. Hey, I mean, to compare it to the other TKO brand, UFC has a lot of sponsorship. Clearly, it's all over the mat. It's all over the cage. You have ad reads in between rounds, but you're not sponsoring, there's no hydration table. They're not sponsoring people's entrances. Like, there's a way to do it. And this, I think, is over the top. To the point where I think personally, for me, it is distracting from the enjoyment of the show. Because I liked tonight, like I said, I liked the wrestling tonight. I liked the in-ring product tonight. Everything else, it gets distracting, and you're just like, can we just have the wrestling? So I'll leave that as the final word. And I would like to thank everybody so much for watching us here at the Market Down Podcast. We appreciate it. If you'd like to subscribe, if you hit the like button, then it lets us know that you enjoyed what we did tonight. I know it was a little bit chaotic, guys coming from the show and the cars and everything. But hopefully you had a good time and you hit the like button, and you can let us know that you had a good time. If you subscribe, you can get us here at the channel throughout the week. We'll be back on Wednesday for Dynamite. We're mostly, so I think, our most consistent show. And so we will definitely be back here on Wednesday. Thursday is a Gym Pack Zone for you TNA fans, so be sure to check that out. And we will continue to cover all of the pay-per-views, whether it's WWE, AEW, TNA. We try to do Ring of Honor when we can, New Japan, for the bigger ones, and so on and so forth. If you want to check us out on some social media stuff and you're here on YouTube, you can check out all the links in the description below. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky are all down there. If you are watching us over on Facebook or on Twitter and you want to check us out in some other places, Twitter is at @marketdown_pod. Instagram is at marketdownpod. YouTube.com/marketdown3665. I don't know why those numbers are there. I think they just gave them to us. And Blue Sky is marketdownpod.bsky.social. Or as always, just search Market Down Podcast on any of your social media platforms, and you will be able to get us. James, real quick, at the buzzer here, saying there's Fun sponsorship, Cracker Barrel, and there's Shill sponsorship, Slim Jim. And he has a very good point. If you go back and watch the original All In, I believe Hangman's match was sponsored by Cracker Barrel, and they were Cracker Barrels all around the ring, and they were fun, and it was funny. And also, it was a running bit in Being the Elite that they would always go to Cracker Barrel. Them just having Slim Jim tables, yes, is annoying. And the fact that Michael Cole has to call it the Slim Jim table, and I know I'm giving free ads, no free ads, but the fact that Michael Cole has to call it that is very annoying. So I think you bring up a good point there, James. Anyway, so for Matt Gascone, who was on remote earlier, and James Asante, who was also on remote earlier, my name is Nick Cummings. Thank you so much for watching us here at the Market Down Podcast. Have a good one, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday night, I guess.